Meghan and Harry are indeed likely going into Australia.
They are deadly serious. They do not want the state to be footing the bill for these people to come who they feel insulted them.
So here's what's going on. I've been watching the situation around Harry and Meghan's supposed Australia tour, and it's getting messy, confusing, and honestly pretty hard to follow. I try to stay fair about this, but the way everything is unfolding feels scattered and inconsistent.
And her flowers and tea and honey, she's charging $300 tax and shipping. And you can literally go to Whole Foods, a very expensive grocery store, and get all that for like $50-$60, depending on what flowers you want.
Once you start connecting the dots, it becomes clear why people are starting to question what's really happening. And it doesn't settle down from there. A few weeks ago, talk began circulating about a possible trip to Australia. At first, this sounded like just another rumor that'll fade out, but then Meghan's team moved quickly and shut it down firmly. They said, and I quote, "Absolutely not. We have no intention of going to Australia."
There are people lining up to shake our hands. This is so silly. And, I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this.
It came across as clear and direct, no room for confusion, or at least that's how it seemed at the time. Because right after that, things shifted. People started looking closer, and what they uncovered changed the entire tone. There were trademark filings registered in Australia, and not just random paperwork, but directly linked to Meghan's lifestyle brand As Ever. And here's the part that really stood out.
So it was a lot of money. It was a lot of treating people badly. Australians especially identify with the underdog. Underdogs are people who work their butt off. They are not underdog erstwhile royals who are like, we left, we want to do things our way.
Those filings weren't recent at all. They weren't a reaction to the rumors. They date back to 2024 and were approved in 2025. That means this has been in progress for quite some time, which makes that strong public denial feel a bit questionable. And then things take an even stranger turn in a way that left people both confused and amused at the same time. When Australians started looking through the trademark list, they found some very random items on it. We're talking gardening hoses. Yes, an As Ever branded gardening hose. Just imagine seeing that on a store shelf.
Marcus says, oh my gosh, Meghan, you need to meet Gemma. Gemma, you need to meet Meghan. This will be great.
It sounds ridiculous, but that's only part of it. There's clothing, which at least makes sense. There are teas and candles too, but then there's also a mix of basic household items that had people saying, mate, I can literally go to Target and get all of this for half the price. And that brings up the bigger issue, pricing. Because if you've seen anything from As Ever so far, then you already know this is not cheap territory. There was a bundle with flowers, tea, and honey priced at around $300 before tax and shipping.
Harry still is not an internationally protected person, still does not have British taxpayer security, despite what he said in January. Someone's going to have to protect them from the public.
$300 for that setup. People were quick to point out that you could walk into Whole Foods, pick up similar items, and still spend only around $50 or $60, depending on what you choose. Now, take that same pricing style and drop it into Australia, a place known for strong local products. Their honey is already high quality, their flowers are fresh and beautiful, and their teas are up there too. So now you're stepping into a market where people already have solid, affordable choices, and expecting them to pay premium prices just for the As Ever label? That's a risky move. And we still haven't even reached the part that really gets people talking. This is where it starts coming apart, because the trip itself is not simple. There are layers to it, and every layer brings more questions.
It's the perfect place to bring Archie and Lily and have a wonderful family vacation. But again, they're not really doing that. They're doing that to pick up some coin and to burnish their reputations.
Stay with me, because the deeper this goes, the stranger it gets. So based on what's been reported, the current plan is that both Harry and Meghan are heading to Australia. Harry is set to speak at a workplace mental health event in Melbourne around the 15th and 16th. And when that news came out, a lot of people had the same reaction. Wait, really? Because this is the same Harry who's been linked to legal battles, very public family tension, and ongoing talk about internal challenges within his own projects. So seeing him step onto a stage to talk about healthy work environments raised eyebrows quickly. For many, it felt like an unexpected move. Now, Meghan's side of the trip has a completely different tone, but it's just as confusing.
One of the reasons why people are so skeptical about this duo is that what they say often is not true or is demonstrably wrong.
She's reportedly connected to a girls' getaway weekend happening at the Intercontinental Hotel in Coogee, a beachside area in Sydney. On paper, it sounds calm and upscale until you take a closer look.
Locals have a bit of a running joke about Coogee. The name has historical ties linked to water quality issues, and let's just say the nickname people use today is not exactly flattering. So right away, some people were questioning the location choice, but that's only part of it, because things shift again from here. Even though this luxury weekend is being hosted at the Intercontinental in Coogee, Meghan reportedly will not be staying there. Instead, she and Harry are expected to stay at a different five-star hotel in central Sydney. And the reason, according to sources, is that the Coogee Hotel is still under refurbishment. The pool is not even open yet. So you got a luxury wellness retreat planned at a location that is not fully ready. Meanwhile, the main figure connected to it is staying somewhere more polished nearby. That contrast did not go unnoticed. It pushed people to question how this was put together. But the biggest issue, the one that really got attention, comes down to who was organizing the entire weekend. Her name is Gemma O'Neill, an Australian businesswoman who was reportedly introduced to Meghan through their mutual connection, Marcus Anderson. He is known for his links to Soho House and has been close to the couple for years. At first, that connection made everything seem reliable. Then new details came out and shifted the tone completely. Reports surfaced that Gemma O'Neill alleged locals have a bit of a running joke about Coogee. The name has historical ties linked to water quality issues, and let's just say the nickname people use today is not exactly flattering. So right away, some people were questioning the location choice, but that's only part of it, because things shift again from here. Even though this luxury weekend is being hosted at the Intercontinental in Coogee, Meghan reportedly will not be staying there. Instead, she and Harry are expected to stay at a different five-star hotel in central Sydney. And the reason, according to sources, is that the Coogee Hotel is still under refurbishment. The pool is not even open yet. So you got a luxury wellness retreat planned at a location that is not fully ready. Meanwhile, the main figure connected to it is staying somewhere more polished nearby. That contrast did not go unnoticed. It pushed people to question how this was put together. But the biggest issue, the one that really got attention, comes down to who was organizing the entire weekend. Her name is Gemma O'Neill, an Australian businesswoman who was reportedly introduced to Meghan through their mutual connection, Marcus Anderson. He is known for his links to Soho House and has been close to the couple for years. At first, that connection made everything seem reliable. Then new details came out and shifted the tone completely. Reports surfaced that Gemma O'Neill allegedly owes over $550,000 to the Australian tax office, over $500,000, and this is the person connected to organizing a high-end wellness retreat linked to Meghan's brand. Once that information started circulating, the response from Meghan's side was that they were not aware. No one flagged it, no background check caught it. That is where people really began asking questions, because this is not a small or casual collaboration. This involves major travel, public appearances, branding, and serious money positioning, all with access to teams, advisors, and professionals whose job is to properly vet partnerships. So how does something like this slip through without being flagged? And just when it seems like that is the peak of it, there is still another layer that makes the whole situation even harder to overlook. This next part adds a different kind of weight to how people are reacting, because it is not only about this trip, it connects to what people remember from before. There were reports from their previous Australia tour that described a tense atmosphere, with claims that Harry and Meghan appeared frustrated during parts of the experience. Some accounts even suggested they were confused about why crowds were lining up to see them. There were also mentions of tension involving the Governor General's household, with suggestions that they wanted access to the full residence, not just a section. Then there were reports from Fiji, where staff were allegedly left in tears after a difficult behind-the-scenes moment. On top of that, there was the situation involving Meghan's friend Jessica Mulrooney, who was flown in from Canada midway through the tour to assist with styling. The report claims she was unhappy with how things appeared in early photos, so a last-minute adjustment was made by bringing her in from across the world. That decision stood out to many people because it did not come across as very relatable. Now, to be fair, none of this is firsthand. These are reports and claims that have circulated, and not every detail has been confirmed, but perception plays a major role here. That is what stuck with a lot of Australians. For some, the overall impression was that the couple arrived, received major hospitality, had security and arrangements covered, and still seemed dissatisfied with parts of the experience. And culturally, that lands differently in Australia. There was a strong value placed on humility, staying grounded, and not acting above others. People often mention the tall poppy mindset, where anyone seen as overly self-important tends to be cut down quickly in public opinion. So whether every detail is fully accurate or not, that perception of Harry and Meghan stepping away from royal life while still holding on to certain privileges does not really align with those values. Now fast forward to now, and they are returning under very different circumstances. This time, they are private figures connected to a commercial rollout. They are linked to a business partner with reported tax issues, promoting high-priced products in a market already filled with strong local options and still expected to receive taxpayer-funded security.
It becomes easier to understand why the excitement is not especially high, but there is another angle that people are starting to focus on more closely, and it has to do with how business and charity are being blended together. Harry's role during this trip is centered on mental health advocacy, speaking at workplace-focused events. That is presented as meaningful, purpose-driven work. Meghan, through the Archewell Foundation, is also connected to various charitable efforts. Those parts are clear. But when those efforts are combined with product promotion and brand positioning during the same trip, it starts to blur the lines in a way that people are paying attention to. People start asking questions. Are donations being made purely for the cause, or is there a sense of access tied to it? Are products being bought because people actually want them, or because there is a charitable link attached? That does not automatically mean anything is wrong, but it does make the structure worth a closer look, especially given their royal background, where those lines were traditionally kept separate. Then it leads into the bigger question: what does success even look like for this trip? If the goal is attention, that part is already covered because the headlines have been constant and every new detail keeps the conversation going. But if the goal is to build a real customer base in Australia and sell these products long term, that is a very different challenge. For as ever to actually connect there, people need to buy into it. And that depends on a few key factors that have not fully aligned yet. This is where things shift again, because talking about it is one thing, but execution is what decides if it works or falls apart. For this to land in Australia, the basics need to be handled properly. The products need to be available, no delays, no confusion, no missing stock. The pricing has to make sense in a market full of strong local alternatives, and the brand needs to stand out clearly, which is not easy when most of the attention keeps circling around controversy instead of the products themselves. But more than anything, the launch has to run smoothly, because if people try to order and the site crashes, shipping takes months, or items arrive damaged, that is the breaking point. It instantly reinforces every doubt people already had, and once trust slips, it is very difficult to rebuild. People who understand retail say this needs a serious media push. That means interviews across the board, TV, morning shows, podcasts, along with in-person appearances where people can actually see the products, not just hear about them. QR codes, direct links, and checkout pages that work without issues. The entire process needs to feel clean and reliable from beginning to end. The question is whether it will actually come together that way. Every appearance, every interaction, every small moment will be examined closely in real time. The spotlight was already intense, and this only increases it. So where does that leave things when you step back and look at the full picture? It is a trip that appears to have been planned well in advance, but publicly denied until it no longer could be. There is a business partnership surrounded by financial questions, a pricing strategy that does not clearly align with the local market, and logistics that still feel uncertain. The public reaction is mixed. There are ongoing concerns about security and public funding, and a media environment that is already tense and ready to respond. And right in the middle of all that, you have two people moving forward in their own way, sticking to their direction no matter what is in front of them. It could all come together. The products might land well, the events could run smoothly, and the crowds might show up strong. If everything aligns, this could turn into a real success story in Australia. That outcome is possible, but based on the pattern so far, there is still real doubt. A more likely scenario, at least according to some watching closely, is a strong start filled with polished photos and positive headlines, followed by quieter reports about issues behind the scenes, delays, product concerns, rollout problems, unexpected costs, the kind of details that slowly shift the tone and keep the cycle going. Hoping for a good outcome is not unreasonable. It would be a positive result to see things work, not just for them, but for what they are building long term. At the same time, hope does not cancel out what is already visible. Right now, this trip carries several signs of something that could go off track if even a few key pieces did not come together the right way. This is the kind of situation where perception can change quickly, and once it does, it is difficult to reverse. That's why every step, every event, and every decision during this trip is going to matter more than usual. I'll be watching how this unfolds closely, because if there's one thing that seems certain, it is that more developments are coming. So if you want to stay updated on every twist, every new detail, and everything that happens next, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Crown L and stay ready for the next breakdown.